Hello, brothers and sisters. This is the beginning of a very big study. It is probably not for everybody. Please consult the Father and our Lord to reconcile whether or not this is right for you. What this study will be doing is taking a look at what is called the Kybalion. The Kybalion is it has become a very small book. It's only 58 pages long. I've known about this for a very long time now, many years. And it talks about the principles that govern our existence in manifested reality. Okay? I'm not going to tell you those soon. We'll work toward those. But they call themselves the principles, okay? Now, these principles are the principalities. They are the principalities of the air. They are the principalities that govern us. Now, this book is written in a way that it is talking to people to tell them that they can get the key. They can get the keys. Sorry, my daughter's got my attention and I'm stumbling. Okay, sorry, she's left now. It is talking in a way that's suggesting, if you read this book, you can gain the keys to unlock your potential and unlock your ability to use these laws to your own advantage. Okay, it's I would say it's new age, but it isn't old age. I mean, my daughter's really taken my attention somewhere else. I would say that it is new age philosophy, but it isn't. This is like the root of all the new age philosophy. People talk all the time about Aleister Crowley, Madame Blavatsky, and Alice A. Bailey. Okay, they talk about them all the time as, the beginning of Theosophy and Satanism and Luciferianism and blah, blah, blah. But what they say goes back further. Okay, so where they've got their ideas from, obviously from Satan whispering to them himself, okay, these ideas have manifested before. And the first manifestation that we have record of is all traced right back to Hermes. Okay? So this is why it's called the Hermetic philosophy. Now, Hermes takes us straight back to Egypt and Greece. Now, this is ancient ideology, ancient belief structure, and it interrelates substantially with the Book of Enoch and the fallen and the demonic influence. But I'm not going to be looking at the Book of Enoch. I'm not going to be bringing that up. That will probably be at a future time for me. What I will be doing, or what I've been asked to do, I haven't yet done it. This is going to take a long time. I have just taken the time to print off the Book of Wisdom, the Apocryphal Book of Wisdom, which is all of Solomon, all about Solomon, and Solomon's Book of Ecclesiastes. Okay, because Solomon. Okay, so I'm gonna read in this video the introduction to this little book, and show you the flaws therein, and basically what the conclusion is, okay, that the key of Solomon is the fallen key, and it's the key that the Masons use and the elite use in order to bind and control us while they're gaining all the wealth and power. It is Solomon's key, okay? We, as heirs to the kingdom of heaven, we follow Yeshua HaMashiach, who has the key of David. That is a much higher key. It's the true key. This is a fallen key. So and if I was to give you a definition of what the difference between the true key and the fallen key is the fallen key opens you up to learning what these powers and principalities are, and then learning how to use them to your own advantage, but not being free from them at all. Okay? You're not free from them. You end up becoming enslaved to those powers and principalities. They use you and you use them. And in order to have that relationship of gaining power from those powers and principalities, you have to be possessed by them and bound to those entities that are behind those powers. You're not getting free. The key of David, however, sets you free from those powers and principalities, and they can't touch you, where it says no weapon shall be formed against you. Okay, so the real true protection or escape route or way out of the matrix is the key of David. The key of Solomon or the key of Hermes, which is the same key, is simply how to manipulate those powers and principalities to get what you want, but you never get free. And every time you try to utilize those powers to get what you want, they have more on you and you're more bound and you're more stuck. Okay, sorry. So this is basically why we're going to be having a look at this, because we need to know at this point, when we are on the brink of manifested warfare, in terms of, okay, the veil is being lifted. We are going to begin to see with our physical eyes this spiritual reality that has so far been veiled from us. And when that happens, we're going to have to know what's what and who's who. And in order to do that, we have to, and plus we also have to look at, and like I said, this is only for those who the Lord is saying, yes, listen. If the Lord is not, if you have a feeling or if you feel like the Lord is telling you don't listen to this, please turn it off. This is not for the faint-hearted. These are for the warriors who are going to be climbing the wall. So when this reality happens, where the veil is fully dropped and we are able to see what we have yet been able to unsee with our physical eyes, when that takes place, we need to know how the enemy is using these powers and principalities to come at us. Okay? That's the best way that I can put it for now. So I just also want to make clear in this introduction that Hermes Trismegistus, or however you say he pronounce his name, let's go down here, Trismegistus. Okay, Hermes Trismegistus, he is also connected to or otherwise known as Set, Seth, Thoth, the magician, the master magician. This is all ties into the philosopher's stone. This is the root of alchemy. And Father has taught me that Solomon is also a synonym here, because this is what Solomon got himself into. I don't think it was Solomon's intention from the beginning, but Solomon says himself, absolute power corrupts absolutely. This is what happened to Solomon. This is where Solomon ended up. He ended up in this stuff. And it's what the Masons have used against us. So we're just going to go into the introduction. Okay, so it says here, oh, hang on, wrong page. Where is it? Oh, where's this page? This is what I wanted to, okay. Where it says here, the lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. Okay, this is the wisdom that Solomon learned and that the Masons and the elite use against you. Okay, this isn't wisdom Ruach HaKodesh, the highest form of wisdom. This isn't that. This is the fallen knowledge, the serpent seed, the knowledge of the fruit of good and evil. This isn't true wisdom. So in other words, this isn't Pistis Sophia, faith wisdom, true faith, true wisdom. This is the lower wisdom, which is just knowledge. So their whole philosophy is, if you know, therefore you're free. Or if you know, therefore you can manipulate. Okay, we're going into the introduction now. I'll just skip the contents. There is a point to this, okay? All right. We take great pleasure in presenting to the attention of students and investigators of secret doctrines. So it's already telling you who this is. This little work based upon the world-old Hermetic teachings, because it is ancient, okay? There has been so little written upon this subject, notwithstanding the countless references to the teachings in the many works upon occultism, that the many earnest searchers after the arcane truths will doubtless welcome the appearance of the present volume. Okay, the reason it's talking post-context of occultism is because this book itself, the 58-page book, was actually written in, I think it's 1907 or 1917 or something. So it's only been penned recently, but the so-called truths within it are very ancient. The purpose of this work is not the enunciation of any special philosophy or doctrine, but rather to give the students a statement of the truth that will serve to reconcile many bits of occult knowledge that they may have acquired, but which are apparently opposed to each other, and which often serve to discourage and disgust the beginner in the study. So this is written to bring together all the different branches of occultism. Our intent is not to erect a new temple or knowledge, but rather to place in the hands of the student a master key, okay? A master key with which he may open the many inner doors in the temple of mystery through the main portals he has already entered. So this is the same lie. You can gain the key and you can unlock the doors yourself and free yourself. There is no portion of the occult teachings possessed by the world which have been so closely guarded as the fragments of the Hermetic teachings which have come down to us over the tens of centuries which have elapsed since the lifetime of its great founder, Hermes Trismegistus, the scribe of the gods, who dwelt in old Egypt in the days when the present race of men was in its infancy. This is what they're saying. Contemporary with Abraham, and, if legends be true, an instructor of that venerable sage. So they're even claiming that Hermes was